Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel BeYouBoo. As you guys might know, or if you're new to my channel, my name is Nate, and this channel is all about celebrating diversity and really just owning the person that you are and you just being you. So today I have a lovely video that I am going to show to you guys in a bit, but before I jump into that video, I really want to just talk to you guys about why I decided to take a month off in order for me to regroup and find back my energy. Now, as you know what's happening in society right now, we do have the Black Lives Matter movement, which I am all for. And I've always been a person that's been fighting against racism, but I've always kept it in my own surrounding, never really said it outside or at work. So today I felt like, I really need to make a statement. I really need to speak up and say that I stand with the Black Lives Matter, and I really think that if we see something, we need to speak up, because I've always been a tiptoeer, always just scared to not be seen as the aggressive Black woman, not to be labeled as the token Black girl, or to be labeled as the angry Black woman. I've always thought about my brand being really careful with what I'm saying, but there's no need to tiptoe anymore, and we really have to fight, because if we're not going to say anything, we're not going to create any change within society. So that's really the message that I wanted to share with you. And to be really honest, I've also noticed that I suppressed a lot of the things that happened with me when I was younger, which were things that I didn't really think were racist things, or I never really stood still to think about them. For example, just the fact that my classmates were always pulling my hair, or thinking that my hair was so coarse that it could withstand anything. And they used to pull it and laugh and say, oh, she can't feel anything. And I totally forgot about that. But in the month that I really took to regroup and to really find myself again, I realized that these things were things that were really bothering me, and I wasn't really thinking about them anymore. So right now, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people that have encountered any of those microaggressions or discrimination, or anything that has been said to them that was racist, and really think about that if that's happened with you, and think about how you can make that change in your society or in your surrounding. But that's really just what I wanted to share with you all about how I was feeling. But this channel is also about educating and also about sharing great content with you, and entertaining content. So I have a lovely conversation that I had with JEANITABLUE. She's a global brand strategist, and she's living in Ohio, and we've actually met on Instagram. So she and we talked about the societal pressures that we feel as a woman, as a Black woman, as an entrepreneur, as someone working in corporate. And we really think that there are a lot of people that are coping with the same thing, and we thought, let's just talk about it and share it with everyone on YouTube. So the first part will be on my channel, but the second part you would have to check out on JEANITABLUE's channel. But wait, before I start talking about this, I really want to ask you to subscribe. I mean, why not become part of the BeYouBoo family? You are so welcome, and I love you if you are going to join. Now, if you don't, which I hope is not the case, but still, thank you so much for watching, and let's just jump into the video. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel BeYouBoo. My name is Nati, and today I am doing something totally different. I have a special guest with me, and we're doing it right now on Zoom, and her name is JEANITABLUE. For the people that are already following me on Instagram, I have talked to her already on Jump Life, and right now we are going to discuss more on pressures that we are feeling, which is a video that I created, and we just wanted to go more in depth with that. So Jeanita, thank you so much for being in this call with me.
Thank you so much for having me, Shante.
Can you let us know what you do actually?
So I am a global brand strategist. What I do is I help brands grow around the world, whether it's with media, content creation, campaigns, advertisements, logos, everything related to marketing. That's what I do.
I love that.
On the professional end. And then I'm also a YouTuber and influencer myself.
I love that. So, Janita, when I was talking about societal pressure, one topic that everyone was constantly talking about was really us comparing ourselves to others. Now, have you ever compared yourself to others like I have?
Yes. Oh my goodness. So I think naturally, I don't think naturally, I don't know if it's like because of people around us, like I think there's two parts to it. I think that people can like I think we naturally compare ourselves, but I think that we can either like choose it to like kind of bring us down or look at it as motivation. I
Definitely.
don't know. Maybe I don't know, but I think it's kind of natural. You see somebody else doing something, and maybe we shouldn't compare ourselves, but I definitely do sometimes. But I have a question for you. Like, what do you do to kind of get back to self after you compare yourself to someone?
I feel like when sometimes you're looking on Facebook and you see that a couple that was together like in high school, they're still together and they already had a
Mm-hmm.
family, or one of them just bought a Ferrari or whatever. And I think
Engage.
that sometimes right, sometimes when you see that, you're like, okay, I am not there yet, and you start comparing yourself, which is like, it's so negative, it's so bad. But what you were saying is true, we do it every time. It's just, it's normal. But what sometimes is difficult is that we let that negativity take over our brain, and we start dropping into a minor depression or a midlife depression. Like, a lot of people are saying that by the time you're 25, you're supposed to have that mini depression. I don't know if it's that, but how I get back to self is I constantly remind myself like what is important, and I write everything down in my journal, what I think is important or what I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
with during that day. So if I continue to doing that, I start being more thankful of what I have in order to appreciate what I have. You know what I mean? To be just
Mm-hmm.
to just be happy.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. It's like, you know what? I can compare myself, but I have all these amazing things going on in my life that I don't even have to. Yeah, I love that. What is your motivation to be successful? What drives you to be
Okay.
successful?
I think that a lot of people might say, yeah, it's just me pushing myself. But I know that back in the day, it used to be getting someone's approval. Usually it would be my parents'
Mm-hmm.
approval. I know that my dad always told me, like, he wanted me to be as successful as I can be. So every time when I see my dad, I'm like, Dad, I did this and this because I want his approval. So I think that
Mm-hmm.
and knowing how much of a perfectionist my dad is, how much they both have succeeded in life, I just felt like I had to push myself to reach their level, his level, or my mom's level, or surpass
Mm-hmm.
it. So I kind of like put that pressure on myself. Um,
Mm.
and I use that also as fuel to motivate myself. And another thing that I also use, I think it's like, I definitely think it's myself, because I, every time I do something, the next time it has to be better. And I think that is
Mm-hmm.
something that is in a perfectionist mind, which can be extremely unhealthy, but it can also be, handy sometimes, because you need to push yourself as much as you can
Yeah,
to improve in life.
I definitely agree. Like you have to have like that sort of balance, you know. And I think it's great having like parents who are like, you know what, you are going to do this, and you're like, okay, yes, I hear you. Now I'm gonna push myself. Kudos to you, girlie.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah.
No, but have you ever been there? Like, do you feel like you have to fight extra for your own beliefs compared to others? Or to at least what society expects from you?
Oh my goodness, definitely. Like I know we are talking about career and career mainly, but I also want to focus on like kind of like that personal aspect of it. Like I am like that sort of crazy person in my family who does these like things, and I think now my family is just kind of used to it. But like, if I want to do something, I just kind of have to do it. Otherwise, it's just gonna like drain me, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't think like so and so may like this. And as a member of like the LGBT community, like coming out to my family was like kind of like I didn't know how they were gonna react, but I knew that if I didn't, I would live in sort of like this space where I couldn't truly be myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that. And I feel like as long as I'm exceeding in my career and I'm healthy and I'm giving back to my community, I think like certain things shouldn't matter. And so that is sort of where I stand on that. But yeah, still like I still feel the pressure from certain family members who are like, no, this is wrong. But that's something that I definitely struggle with, but I have to continue to show up for myself.
I love that. I love that you did that. And I think it was extremely scary to do the first time, right? But in some way, you still push yourself to do it. Like, what was your motivation to still do it?
Because I was in love. I think that's kind of, I think that's what pushed me, right? I was just like, you know what? Like, I don't want to live a secret, and I don't think it's fair to me or my partner to have to live like this. And so that was my motivation for that.
I love that. I love that. I think for me, I was extremely scared. Like, this is the first time I'm going to admit this, but I am in an interracial relationship, and knowing how my family was, or how at least people in the Caribbean, or sometimes, Black people, we are like, are you going to be with a white man of all
Exactly. Yes.
And I had to push myself to tell my whole family. I could tell you, everything was sweating here. I didn't, but the moment I told them, and thank God, they just accepted it and they loved it, and they were happy that I was happy. It was more than enough for me. So I'm really glad that we took those leaps of faith.
Yes, definitely. Congratulations. Like we deserve to be happy. We deserve to be happy. So congratulations.
Congratulations to you.
Yeah. So you mentioned like being in a relationship and things that sort of came with, that sort of like differences in color. So do you feel like you've ever been like treated differently as a woman of color in particular?
Yes. I mean, working in a corporate organization, definitely working in IT, there aren't a lot of women of color at all. And definitely not a lot of leaders of color, whether that they are female or male. So coming into that organization, I totally felt like I had to push myself, or I had to assimilate or become besties with everyone that wasn't my own skin color. You feel like, I feel like I had to change myself or switch to the professional person that they could really respect. And I've definitely felt different, whether that is in my personal life or in my career. Like, for example, in my personal life, I've gone shopping where people have stopped me with an empty bag. They've put me in corners thinking that I've stolen stuff. It's ridiculous. Or I've had a job interview where I showed them my CV, and this is an organization. It's a large organization, not the one I'm working at right now, but it's a popular one. I showed them my CV, and they said, "Oh, you're not the Black person we expected. That was supposed to be another Black person." And I was like, "Oh, are you serious?" And then someone came in, and that person said, well, she didn't know that I was still in the room, and she said, "Yeah, no, I think we have enough Black people right now working here." And I was like, "Are you kidding me right now?" I know, again.
What?
When I heard that, I was like, I immediately said, "Sorry, I would never want to represent an organization like this." Yeah, so I've definitely felt different. During job interviews, just walking around normally in the city and doing nothing. So that's why I think that organizations right now should definitely reflect what we have in society and have the same thing in organizations. And that's why I totally believe in pushing diversity within organization, which is something I'm working on in my organization myself, because I started one group that's called Mosaic, where we try to have more people of color within our organization. So that's definitely something I'll be working on.
Wow.
To get that happening. Yeah.
Such a power move. Very important. Very
Definitely,
important.
definitely,
Yeah.
because it's a sensitive subject, and not everyone wants to talk about it. Definitely not in corporate. Or I think, how does it feel for you as an entrepreneur? Like, how do you feel that's happening for you?
I think similar to what you said, as a professional, when I show up or when I'm taking a consultation for someone, initially it's business first. I represent myself as a professional. I have years of experience in corporate, college educated. And so I am who I am, and this is what you get. Now, if you choose to feel differently once we begin to work together or something, then I can't. I mean, I'm still gonna do my job. I'm still gonna do my best work. But I don't think I've ever faced any sort of discrimination where someone didn't want to work with me.
Yeah.
However, I did face the issue where someone questioned my prices, and I think Black businesses and business of color typically devalue themselves compared to other businesses. But I personally choose not to do that.
Yeah.
So if my prices get questioned, then I'm sure there's plenty other businesses that you can work with, but this is the work. I definitely charge the work.
Yeah, you have to put your boundaries. Yeah, I totally agree. But do you also feel like, you've ever felt like you can't achieve something because you are who you are? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you tend to underestimate yourself, or I think it has to do with that imposter syndrome, like thinking that I would never think I could achieve this. I am not the person to achieve this. Do you do that?
Yeah, I think I definitely used to do that a lot. Kind of that, like, fake it till you make it. Recently, I moved abroad and I was working in Asia as a teacher, and I did training and things like that before, but I've never taught in a college. Like, I've never been a professor, and so I had to go in there and I had to sort of like be what I thought a professor was, and so I was super nervous, armpits sweating, like voice a little bit shaky, but eventually as I continued to go on, it got better.
Yeah.
As it relates to my career and as it relates to like my job, as a full time entrepreneur, I feel like I deserve everything. And so I feel, yeah, I just really just feel like I deserve everything because I just feel deserving. I don't know, it might be super, but like, I'm like, no, I want that. I can have it. Okay, I want to do this. Okay, I can do that. Okay, what's next? And like, I think it's initially like taking those like leaps of faith, right? Doing like, okay, let me just do it. Sometimes it's scary to do it, but I always feel deserving.
Yeah, I totally understand. I think I had the same way thinking, creating a YouTube channel, or I think I did the same thing. I lived in England for a year where I had to study there, and I thought, oh my God, English is not my first language. Being in England, how is that going to work? I don't know anyone. So I definitely thought that when I succeeded, that when I had my diploma, I was done. I look back and I was like, why was I so scared? Like, that was for me. I was supposed to go there. I was supposed to learn everything, right? And I'm like, underestimate yourself. Why do that? It's unnecessary. Own who we are. Everything is for us. Accept who we are and live our best lives, right?
Yes. Exactly. And that is the energy that we need to live in. Oh yes.
Yes.
I love
yes.
it.
I agree.
So I do have a question. So you're in corporate America. Oh, excuse me, you're in corporate Netherlands or whatever in general. You work in corporate. That's what we say here in the US. Like you're in corporate America is so like this space, right? Because it's an energy, right? Like it's a sort of perception or like expectation or of a just a view,
Yeah.
right? Because you kind of have an idea of what it's like to work in corporate. And so, do you feel like you have to lower your value as a young black?
Oh,
Yeah. Do you feel like you have to lower your value being a young black person
such
in
a good
corporate?
question. That is such a good question. I think we could answer that in your video. So
Let's do it.
jump over to your video, everyone.
Let's go.
Let's go to Janita's channel.
Let's do it. Okay. Here we go.
So thank you everyone for watching this video. I had a lovely conversation with Jeanita, and I really think that it's important to share what we share with you in order for you to know that you are not alone, and that if you are feeling the same things, then you know you have a person that is speaking it out loud and just sharing it with the world. So it was extremely scary for us, but I hope you got something out of it. But I just want to thank you for watching, and please continue to watch the second part of this video at JEANITABLUE's channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye everyone.